No lie. I was literally selling life insurance policies to pay my mortgage. At that point, we moved, we built a house, and, you guys know how it is with a loan with your agency. It's, everyone thinks you have a decent sized agency and, life's great. No, I mean, it's really difficult to actually, see it through. And then you get to the point where you see it through and things are starting to go good. And then you decide, hey, I need to scale this up. And when you start scaling things up, you better have, be able to see into that crystal ball what you need, like service people. And you look at it from that standpoint is that, when you bring somebody on, how do they mesh with everybody? All of that basically has that impact on you. But my biggest struggles, honestly, were, 2016, having a rate increase, not worrying about, being able to write new business. And looking back at it, it was the best thing that ever happened because it cleaned my book of a lot of accounts that I probably didn't want. When I took that book over, the retention was 81%. It dropped down to 78% during that period. Ooh. And now we sit at 89%.
Nice.
So, and it's all staff. I mean, it's not me. I mean, I really don't do anything all day, Ron, I'll tell you that. But for the most part, we just looked at it from the standpoint of, we just took a proactive stance with renewals. And to this day, we do that as well.
Yeah. And there's always risk jumping at an opportunity, right? You saw the opportunity, you had the vision, and then shit fell apart. And it's like, okay, well, now I have a challenge and I got to figure it out. And when the stakes get raised where it's like, if I don't sell this, I don't eat, all of a sudden you're at DEFCON 5 and you make it happen.
Exactly.
I think some of the darkest times in my business career were when it was like, well, shit, do I eat or what do I do? I mean, you figure it out.
Exactly. Real fast.
So I think a lot of agents probably feel like that. We've talked to a lot that feel like that right now. I mean, what are some pieces of advice you just give them specifically going through that? What would you have wanted to hear at that time now being on the other side?
Well, luckily for me, I mean, I was on the side where I managed 11 locations. I knew what was going on in the insurance. I had that insurance background, right? At some point, you have to spend money you don't have, right? I mean, Jason, you know that, and Craig, you know that, but you have to time that perfectly, right? So if you're spending money in a time where you're not at the most competitive point for whatever company you represent, you're wasting money. And it doesn't have to be super competitive. You just have to be able to win, 7 or 8% of the time, whatever it may be. But when you're at that moment, you have two options. You either have to basically thin out and basically run lean and mean, or you have to basically, I would say, get the marketing down first, right? You get the marketing down, everything else will fall into place. So you have to be able to take that risk to basically spend the money on the marketing when you know that you're competitive.